Hi, Jay from More Adelaide here. It's been a year since I post another video about the storm, the things you need to do after you receive it. So here is a new version of it. This is your new version of Storm, and basically has nothing really majorly changed. It's more for the illustration purposes, and also for the beginners that hasn't had much of experience with their storm. So it may look a bit intimidating, but bear with me. It's not gonna be a long video, so I'll explain everything a bit more slowly here. Okay, so firstly, this is how you see it when you receive it. It's pretty much not much has changed. We start to adapt more weight losing strategies. So you'll see carved out parts. There will be no windows anymore because people couldn't see when it's primed and they leave them overnight. And that's been causing issues as well. The whole storm relies heavily on the length and the compression of the spring. So if you leave your spring primed, which is on this position, this is the back of the stock, overnight you need a new spring. It will not function properly. So just double check. When you turn it off, make sure to shoot the last round because there will be one in the barrel. Also, you'll receive a slightly shorter handguard as well, and you see it's taking a different approach. Again, it's a shorter one just to reduce a bit more weight. Okay, and we're back to the accessories. It will have no battery and a charger. You do need to find your own. This is what I'm using at this stage. I'm using IMAX V6 and batteries. This is the biggest you can fit. I've shown this multiple times. So basically 19.24 WH, that's the 4S battery. If you're looking for a 3S, I think you can fit a 1500 mAh inside. But if you want a bigger battery, for example, this is 1200 mAh, sorry, 2200 mAh, 11.1 volt. Stay just watch out the news because we're gonna do a new stock quite soon as well for fitting a larger battery. Now that's the battery done. You'll receive two little packs containing lots of small parts in there, so don't panic. I will introduce them. Firstly, this is the CQB front, and you can fix this into the front bit of the body if you don't want a hand guard. There's 4 screws inside, 3 shorter ones for fixing holes. This one on the top, one on the other side. That's basically 3 of the M4 by 12. There's also one slightly longer, is for fixing the one on the bottom, which is M4 by 16. And you also see a Darren ball here. So how you change the Darren ball is basically by losing these 8 screws here. Now be careful when you tighten them because it doesn't have a lot of thread, so don't go too crazy on them. They are only 4 screws. What I'm using as a standard is this is Bosch Go 2, which is a really good screwdriver, the second lowest setup. So that's how much torque, which is not a lot. If you're using like a drill, it's almost definitely too powerful and you will lose the thread on especially those 4 screws. But when you lose it, you lose it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. These 4 of them should hold them really well, but just be careful. The other thing is there's a tiny fuse inside as well. I don't know if you can see it. That's the fuse. And to access to the fuse, you need to basically remove this part. There's one M4 screw down there, and you could pull the stock off, and you have access to your circuitry board, and that's how you change the fuse. Okay, so that's basically everything in this little package. What's in here is your front cap for your handguard. There's also your screws and nuts for your grip. I leave the grip as is. I don't want any issues with shipping. But basically, insert two here, two on the other side. Grips comes in from here, and you could basically tighten the screws using a long screwdriver. As for screwdrivers, you need one 2mm hex key, you need one 2.5, that's for all the M4 screws here. You also need one 3mm for access to the Darren ball, and that's pretty much all the screwdriver or hex keys you need. You will also see the wing nuts and also these 4x12 screws. These screws for your handguard. So came with the rail, and you can fix them nicely. The other little grub screws, they are for your barrel. So these are the positions for your barrel nuts, and that's how you fix them. Hopefully that sort of gives you an idea of what's included in the package. And before you're turning on the system, there's a couple of things you need to check. Firstly, get your battery fully charged. And the storm will not working properly when your battery is on lower or even medium voltage. So make sure your battery is fully charged before the day. And if you're using for a game day, at least get two of these, or big batteries. This way, you won't have any problems. If it's stuck in the middle, because of the lower voltage, keep pulling the trigger will destroy your circuitry. So don't do that. I'll probably post another video about that. But basically, your battery fully charged. That's the most important thing. The other thing is make sure this is on the back position where the switch is, which is close to the back end of the blaster, and that's very important before you turn it on. That's pretty much all. Before you fit in the grip, there's also something else to look into. Is you want to make sure this screw, especially here, is fully tightened. Again, don't go crazy, just make sure it's tightened. Just double check just in case. And a lot of people's having difficulties, especially after the shipping, the screws may come loose, so just double check. Because if this is loose, and here's why I explained the another grub screw here. This is for adjusting the timing of the brake, and also when and if the system have brake at all. So make sure the screws is tightened all the way in there for the brake module to be functioning correctly. This is set by default normally 3 notch from the bottom to keep everything nicely. If you having problems with once it's turned on and it's going full auto without any of the trigger pulling, that's because that's loose or something's wrong with the module. But that should be everything, and hopefully this answers your questions about how to use the storm. Don't forget, when you finish the day, just switch the switch to back and pull the trigger once to clear the chamber, because there's a dart stuck inside. And then you could double check this is unprimed, because again, if it's primed, it will ruin your spring. Hopefully that answers all your questions, and let me know if you have any other problems. And this is Jay signing off.